Oh, what's going on, guys? We are going to do a reaction to the Witcher Season 2 teaser trailer that was just released during the WitcherCon. There's a couple things there that might be reaction worthy, so stay tuned. Um, so yeah, man, I'm really excited, man, because I feel like I've been waiting ages to see this. I'm a huge Witcher fan. I have my silver and steel swords on my forearm. I have, well, you can't see it, but I have a huge like painting of Geralt, Yennefer, and Triss on my wall over there on that side. I have every book. I've read every book from Last Wish to Lady of the Lake. Baptism of Fire is the best book in the saga, and I will not hear anything else about it. I adore this series, man. And even though I have my gripes with the first season of the Netflix adaptation of the books, I overall thought it was pretty well done. Like, definitely, it wasn't no Last Airbender, it wasn't no Assassin's Creed. So we got, like, I felt like we got above the bare minimum at least, and that was all that I could hope for, right? Things like Geralt and Yennefer and Ciri, the most important parts to me, the most important things to me, they absolutely nailed those three characters, and that's all I could really ask for. So that made me really, really happy. For season two, man, we're more than likely going to be covering like the Blood of Elves book. So yeah, I'm really excited to see Kaer Morhen, our boys Lambert, Eskel, Cohen, Vesemir as well. Um, Crossing my fingers for Dijkstra. I really want to see Dijkstra and Philippa in this trailer, man. I hope we get to see them. Um, but let's get into it, man. Really quickly before I start, I do a gaming podcast alongside with some friends over on another channel called DualShock and Sense. I'm going to leave a link to that in the description below so you guys can check it out if you want to. We're going to talk about this trailer more in depth over there. But without further ado, let's get into this trailer, man. In 3, 2, 1.
So,
God, look at Ciri, man.
You're much more than that, Cirilla.
She's something more.
I need to understand some things.
The world is changing. Centra isn't safe for you anymore.
What exactly is Kaer Morhen?
You're home. Finally. Who the hell are you?
Nice.
Sometimes I feel so afraid. I feel like I could burn the whole world.
Facing your fear is not easy, but I am here for you.
Look at him being a dad, man.
Run.
Whoa.
You run.
Oh, that's a cool shot, dude.
I say hide.
We have to stay.
You hide. Run! Vesemir said that the world outside these
That was
walls
Vesemir?
is a dangerous place. But you can find power and purpose. Where is she?
What if your princess is more than you're barking for? Are you sure you're ready for this?
God, we didn't see Yennefer at all.
Welcome back.
Damn it, there she is. Oh, okay. Interesting. And Fringilla kidnapping her is interesting because I don't remember that ever happening in the books. But again, man, I mean that's sort of like the interesting thing about these adaptations. Like, I never want a 1-to-1 adaptation, right? Because I've already read that, right? That would be boring to me. I would just be watching the exact same thing from the book. So like, yeah, I do want things to deviate a little bit. I do want some new things to be added into these things. So like, I'll reserve judgment to see what this whole thing about Fringilla kidnapping Yennefer is until we actually see it. But could be interesting. I don't know. Oh my god, there's so much to fucking unpack here, man. There's like a lot of people in Kaer Morhen, man. I need to go back because like obviously, yeah, like we have the usual cohorts, right? We have the Eskel, Cohen, Lambert, um, Vesemir. I want to go back to that shot really quickly where it showed everyone in the main hall, right? So we have Lambert and Geralt hugging each other. Cohen, I'm guessing, is the bald guy. Um, and then Eskel as well. Um, okay. God, they showed it like at the 35-second mark, but like for a split second. Okay, I'm trying to see. There's like one, two, three, four, five, six people in the main hall. There might be like two people to the right of Cohen and Geralt hugging. I guess what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of people in the main hall, but we know a good majority of them. Um, so that's interesting to see if there's more people staying here. That would be interesting. Also, we got to talk about the tree in the main hall. It's like it's almost like a memorial of sorts. It's a tree that looks like it's holding like the medallions of like previous Witchers, right? That is like a really cool idea, and like I feel like that's not too far of a stretch to believe that that would be something that like Vesemir will want to keep within Kaer Morhen, right? To remember, their sort of their fallen brothers. I don't think that's too much of like a leap in logic to like believe that, yeah, that's something reasonable to have within Kaer Morhen. So I really, that's one of those things that that wasn't in the books that I think is a cool addition to the lore, right? Um yeah, I actually really dig that addition. Um Also, I love the whole sort of like the horse ride to Kaer Morhen. Geralt seemingly having to explain to Ciri, what this place is, right? Um, Eskel kind of like in Ciri's face, going like, "Who the hell are you?" Right? Um, I'm watching the trailer again, just seeing if I missed anything. I'm at the 50-second mark right now. Um, Based on the best-selling book series. God, that shot of him like bursting through the doors and running, Geralt with his eyes all black, so good. And Vesemir, man, we didn't really get a look at his face, man, but he's there. It's so cool having him here. Also, and Tasaya yelling Yennefer's name, man. Um, I want to see if I can tell like who is Geralt like back to back with? Who is he fighting alongside with? Oh, that had to be Vesemir, right? Because only Vesemir's hair is like that. Some beautiful shot, like location shots as well. Yeah, it looks like both Vesemir and Geralt in like the armory, perhaps, or is that actually the room where they make Witchers at the 129-second mark? Yeah, I think that might be Vesemir. That's all, dude. Vesemir and Geralt fighting alongside each other. God damn. Yeah, Yaskier for a quick second there. Yeah, what a great trailer, man. This was great. Um, and then the stinger with Yennefer at the end. Like honestly, like Yennefer to me in season one was like the best part of the Witcher TV series. Um, yeah, so like um my thing is that like so like we know that like I mean logically that this season should sort of like follow the the Blood of Elves novel, right? And that book was always like I've always dubbed it as like the Ciri training arc, right? That's where You know, that book is primarily spent with Ciri training at Kaer Morhen, getting to learn the other Witchers. Triss is also at Kaer Morhen. I didn't see her in this trailer, so that's gonna be interesting if they actually retain that. If Triss is going to be at Kaer Morhen, um, because right, the whole thing is about, you know, controlling Ciri's powers, and you know, Geralt enlists the help of a sorceress. That sorceress being Triss, to come over to try to help Ciri to keep her powers in check, because the Witchers just don't know how to do that sort of thing, right? Um, so yeah, theoretically, Triss should be here in Kaer Morhen as well. Um, so yeah, that's like really like the first half of the book. Um, the Ciri training at Kaer Morhen alongside the Witchers and Triss. But then, you know, that Triss essentially can't help her, so then they go and enlist the help of Yennefer. They send Ciri off to Yennefer at I think I forget what school it is, but it's like some school where, you know, she can kind of be secluded and kind of be like isolated a little bit, and that's Yennefer's responsibility. So it's really Ciri training with Geralt for the first half of the book, and then the last half of the book, Ciri training with Yennefer. So obviously the first half of Blood of Elves looks to be intact within season two. Um, with this whole thing about Yennefer being kidnapped by Fringilla Vigo, I'm really curious, like, how long is that gonna be a thing? Like, is that gonna be something that happens the entire season, or just like a one episode thing, and we get Yennefer out of there so she can, you know, help Ciri? Um, Not too sure, but very intrigued about that nonetheless. And then the last thing I'll touch on is obviously I wanted to see Dijkstra, and I wanted to see Philippa. Um, Hopefully we get to see them, you know, within the next trailer or whatever. Um, I'm really intrigued to see like what their role is going to be in this season, because I don't remember Dijkstra having the biggest role in Blood of Elves, but Philippa was like pretty prominent in this book. I don't want to say like pretty prominent, but like I mean, she stops Geralt from killing Rience, right? Which is like a pretty big deal. Like, Geralt is like pretty pissed at Philippa for doing. Um, and that's a really wonderful scene, and that's also when we get to meet Shawnee for the first time. Dandelion is there as well. It's this whole thing. So like that's a scene that I would really love to have adapted into this as well, right? So like, I guess what I'm trying to say is that like I'm curious to see if it's gonna be strictly that, or if we get more, you know, Philippa and Dijkstra moments within this first season, right? Because like, yeah, even though Philippa is in Blood of Elves, there's not too much of her, right? Even though she does have like a big scene. So like, I wonder how they're gonna use that character. I'm really intrigued. Um, but yeah, man, that's pretty much it for this reaction. I probably rambled on way too long. I hope I got to break down like what I could from this trailer. Um, there was a lot of like really split second scenes where like if you blink, you miss it. There's one we saw like one hunchbacked character, right? Kind of look a little like hairy or like beast like, and that's the beast, I'm assuming, from the A Grain of Truth short story from The Last Wish, right? So obviously that's gonna be adapted in this season, which is always nice to see. I believe that beast is being played by the guy from Game of Thrones. I forget his name. So I'm excited to see how he does with this role. Um, but yeah, man, I guess that's pretty much it for this trailer. Um, yeah, that's going to do it. I wonder who is this guy with, because we, okay, last thing I'll touch on. But the 123-second mark, this guy with like long flowing black hair, you know, thick black beard, inside of Kaer Morhen. We did see him earlier, like a shot earlier where he's like I think Ciri's looking at him, but he's like all the way down the hallway, and he like kind of pulls out his sword. Maybe it's not a monster that's actually within Kaer Morhen, but it's this guy. That's like a threat or whatever. Right? Because he's very clearly not Lambert, Cohen, or Eskel. So yeah, I wonder who this guy is at the 123 mark. Could it possibly be Rience or Riance, whatever his name is? That would be interesting if it was. That would definitely be different from the books. But okay. That's gonna do it for this video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel for more videos like these. I have plenty of Witcher content I have done in years past, talking more in depth about short stories and moments from the Witcher books. A few reactions in there as well. So yeah, go ahead and check them out. I have them all set up in a playlist, so you can definitely find them all there. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.